All right, the very first thing that we're going to jump into here is GCW Homecoming Night 1.
Wowee.
I feel like this was probably one of their bigger events. One, because, of course, Nick Gage showing up on AEW, which we'll get into a little later, and Matt Cardona being in the main event.
Always ready, bro.
Always
ready.
Wow.
I went to the show. I only went to part 1 because if I went to part 2, I'd probably have died. I would have died. I was so tired. I was so exhausted. But what a show, dude. This is a lot of people were asking, like, hey, can you talk about this on Deadlock? So we'll talk about it because I was there.
Let's go.
What a crowd. Like, I've been going to shows since I was like fucking 9 years old. And this is up there with like one of the most insane crowds ever. Like you could have put anything on this show, and this crowd, it would have made it feel like it was the best match ever. Like this shit was crazy. I think it was like over 1,000 people. Which
wow, really?
Yeah. I don't know if it was their most attended or one of. I think it was up there with like the spring break attendance.
I was about to say it's got to be right
really?
there. Sure.
Yeah, it's pretty far up there.
It's crazy.
Kept Matt Cardona your big draw.
Big.
Dude.
I mean, yeah. I maybe. I mean, Gage and Cardona was like the fucking
Huge.
match, and I mean, I'll just talk right about that right away.
Sure.
What a fucking match that was, dude. Like, the crowd, I swore we're gonna just punch Matt Cardona on the way out. Like, I'm surprised he didn't just have to fight the crowd on the way out.
If this was like an old GCW crowd, I definitely feel like they would have.
Yeah, it's real crazy for me to see. Like, I've been going to GCW before. I feel like not to sound weird about before most people knew what the fuck GCW was when they were running Game Changer World, and there was like 50 people in there in the smallest, like sketchiest building ever, and I definitely
Is that the one with like the
inhaled.
red on the walls and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is like no ventilation. I definitely inhaled so much light tube dust. I think that's why I survived the pandemic.
Yeah, I think so too.
So seeing like that back then, and then this now with like over 1,000 people there, and like this main event and this atmosphere where like it's polar opposites. Like Gage is like the most over man on the indies by far, I think.
Oh yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
100%, yeah.
And Cardona is the most hated man that's maybe ever stepped into GCW, which is saying a lot because RSP had like a ton of heat, but this felt way different than that. It's similar in the sense that it was, big heel against Gage, but like this was crazy. Now, gigantic props to fucking Matt Cardona, who probably could have got away with just taking one bundle of light tubes because I think no one really expected him to do much.
No,
this
not at all.
dude bled like bad. His arm was destroyed. He was like, he was wearing like all white, which is thank you because that's a true deathmatch guy right there.
I mean, sure, he was gonna bleed right away when that happened.
Well, that's when I figured it out. I was like, oh wow, what the fuck? He's gonna bleed?
Yeah,
like,
that's awesome.
He did a superplex to Gage through a pane of glass, and it just shredded his arm. Like I guess because how you hook a suplex, like he's probably the first one to touch the glass before Gage, really.
Yeah.
Like God, just shredded his arm. He had a full white tank top on that was like drenched red. It looked like the same color as his tan. Like it was disgusting.
You couldn't even tell. You couldn't even discern his like upper half of his body.
No,
like, everything blended in on the video.
Yeah, and just Cardona winning was just like, God, that's so crazy. Like, that was just like the right thing to do. But like, holy shit, that was like...
GCW is not afraid to put the title on a huge heel if they have it. They'll switch it on a dime too. So.
Yeah, man. It was... And then Cardona, like, he legit, like, the crowd... I don't know if it showed it on the camera, but the sea of people that ran after him as he ran out of the fucking...
Dude, I was like...
room.
I didn't know what was going to happen, to be honest with you.
It was sketchy as fuck. Like,
I was surprised he left through the crowd like that. He didn't have security or anything, just kind of left.
They were throwing some crazy shit at him too, like full PBR cans, like not open.
Dude, that's fucked, man. If that were, that's.
There was definitely a pizza cutter thrown at him, like,
through the air.
I think there was multiple.
Yeah, through the air. I was like, what? He's gonna die. Like, probably get this fucking dude out of here. But yeah, this great thing. I don't know when the feed cut off, but Gage cut a promo after pretty much saying, "Hey, sorry, that sucks."
It cut off when he was in the ring, just sitting there. Yeah.
It was nuts, man. But show, dude, overall, whole show, fucking fantastic stuff. Marco beat Starboy Charlie, who's like, I feel like Starboy Charlie's like
13.
18. Yeah, he's fucking too young. Marco's in really good shape. I don't know, like, what happened. He's like looking kind of bigger. I was like, oh, all right, Marco, I see you. He had the first entrance of the show, which is like, just everyone was just in love with this fucking entrance. It was, dude, was so over.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was over before he even went to AEW.
Yeah, exactly. That's why he got signed, because he had buzz. That was a fun match. Tony Deppen beat Ninja Mac. That was a cool match. Just Ninja Mac doing Ninja Mac stuff. Tony Deppen left like right after the match. I think he may have been a little pissed.
Really?
Yeah, maybe there was an issue of Ninja Mac knowing Ninja Mac stuff and not really knowing Tony Deppen stuff. That's kind of how it felt. Yeah. But I think Ninja Mac is kind of new still, so it's like whatever. But I think it was sweet.
Yeah, right.
AJ Gray beat Nolan Edward, which was like just them beating the fuck out of each other for 7 minutes. It was awesome.
Nolan Edwards doesn't do a lot of deathmatch stuff anymore, does he?
He's done with it now, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He did Masters of Pain recently, which is IWA East Coast, and then I think maybe after that he was done. Yeah, I think he's just a regular wrestler now.
Wow. Okay, so he just went straight into like, let's just beat the fuck out of each other.
We're gonna fight now. Yeah, dude.
Okay,
next to Gage, AJ Gray's entrance is tremendous.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all people go crazy for. Yeah.
People love that fucking guy. Too Cold Scorpio beat Grim Reaper, which in a match where they just kept doing spots involving them smoking a blunt, which is fucking awesome.
Grim Reaper is maybe the best name ever, by the way.
Dude. He was the last time I saw him before, like, you know, his resurgence was like CZW in like 2008.
Yeah, we watched a video on YouTube, and I think.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Reaper.
Scorpio, I feel like, was overwhelmed with his entrance, which is probably saying a lot for a guy like him, but it probably has been a minute since he's been in front of a crowd that was like that fucking fired up.
Yeah. I saw X3 dancing on Scorpio's entrance.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
That was sweet. That match was fun. Drew Parker beat Alex Colon in just a disgustingly violent match. And I'm pretty sure Drew Parker, like 24 hours before that, was in Japan winning the Big Japan title.
Yeah, he did. I actually met him in Japan a few years ago. Yeah, he's actually come a long way. Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yes, that match was violent as fuck. That and the main event are like the two matches I would say go out of your way to see if you're a deathmatch person, especially. There was a scramble match, just a bunch of dudes throwing each other. Atticus Kogar won, who also has like Atticus Kogar is gonna be like a top GCW heel probably pretty soon. Like once this Matt Cardona stuff is done, because he is right up there with like RSP with people just fucking hating that guy.
Yeah,
but he's really good too, though. Matthew Justice and Mance Warner beat Jimmy Lloyd and G-Raver to win the GCW tag titles, which had been like held by Ciclope and Miedo Extremo in Mexico for like 2 years now. Like they just never brought him back.
Yeah, that's what I say. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, so they gave the Jimmy Lloyd and G-Raver won them in I don't know if it was Zona. I think they just won them on a show in Mexico recently, but they're like feuding too, so pretty much was just them being pissed at each other the whole match and then losing. And then they like got everybody ready for the main event, and then some dude came out like and started cutting a promo, and everyone's like, what the fuck is this shit? It's talking shit. And then Effie comes out to a gigantic reaction. Like, Effie is so over, and I like Effie a lot. I think Effie is pretty sweet, and I would like him to do more death matches, but you know, he did TOS, so I'll take that. But
yeah, I mean, I think the 2 Cup Stuff show,
the Gage match,
me and Tony were there live for that one.
Fucking awesome. Yeah, that shit was awesome. I think it was this guy's name was Ja C. I think they would call him Ja, not Ja Rule.
Okay, what does Ja Rule think about it?
I'm not sure. Where is Ja? I don't know. So Effie comes out and confronts him, and they God, man. This should not have been here, man. Like, dude, if they did this earlier, it would have been fine. But like putting it right before this Gage thing, when you should have seen the entranceway of people. Like half of the building is in the aisle waiting for Nick Gage to come out. Like that's how prepared they were for this.
Right.
And they come out and do this match, and it was just not for me, man. This shit sucked. I thought and I really like Effie, so I was like, oh, this kind of sucks. I don't want to be bummed about Effie, but it's not like they were just in the wrong spot.
Yeah,
it was just whatever. But then main event, Matt Cardona beats Nick Gage for the fucking title.
Wow,
blood everywhere. Like Cardona is like a made man to me now. Like you can run that forever with this guy.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think on the show today or last night, that they did the night 2 of Homecoming.
Right.
They had Mark Sterling come out as his representative with a message from Matt Cardona, and he pulled out his phone and he says, "Okay, Matt Cardona says GCW Universe, fuck you." That was the message, and he goes to leave. But then Gage came out and fucked them up. He also said they want to rename the title the GCW Universal title.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
That'd be so sick.
Yeah, that would be
that'd be real good.
So yeah, just great stuff. A lot of dippers there. A lot of dippers and ites at the show.
That's pretty sweet.
I saw, I think it was Dang It's Boomhour was there with the Kali shirt. Shout out.
Nice.
Awesome.
There was a guy wearing the Skelly Fingers hat.
Nice.
And I had to like it. I love that hat, but the tough part about it is, which is kind of brilliant, because if it's either you think it's a Stone Cold hat or you know it's a Deadlock hat, which is great. I had to stare at this guy's hat for a solid minute to figure out which one it was.
You should just ask him.
Hey, what's that? So I was like, oh, hey, nice hat, man. He's like, hey, say thanks. And so he didn't know who I was, which is fine.
That's
probably
great.
better,
Shout
really.
out.
You should have gave him the middle finger, man. He would have known right away.
I should have did the pose.
Yeah.
You should have said, "Hey, how's it going?" He would have known it instantly.
Which I like when people don't know who I am, but this show, more people came up to me than any other show ever. Like,
That's pretty
really?
neat.
yeah,
That's pretty
it was
neat,
like,
actually.
so anyone that I met there, shout out. There was like a bunch of people from Massachusetts that were there, shout out to them, and there was a bunch of really nice people. So thanks if anyone came up and
That's awesome.
said nice things to me and asked for a picture, which was insane to me that anyone would care to do any of that. So
Yeah, that's
that
always
was pretty
crazy.
sweet. So yeah, shout out to everyone that was there, and that was fun. Yeah, check out those. Definitely check out the 2 death matches on that show.
You gotta check
Fuck
out
me.
the Matt Cardona match at least.
Yeah,
That thing is, that's like, if you've ever watched Zack Ryder, you need to watch this match because it'll change. Like, you'll be very confused, and it's fun.
Dude, if I'm GCW, I'm putting that matchup on YouTube. I don't care. It would have reached so many people.
Yeah,
definitely.
Especially if they're gonna keep it going. Screw it, man. I'm putting them on YouTube.
Yeah, and they just announced they're doing War Games in Chicago.
Dude, okay, so in my
Whoa.
head when I heard that, it's either gonna be AEW helps them or it's the most rickety piece of shit and everybody dies.
It's gotta be 2 rings, right? It has to be. You don't say War Games and don't do 2 rings.
Yeah, it
They
turns out
have
it's just
to.
6 sides of steel.
It's
Two
just-
two
it's-
single-sided rings.
2
It's
sexagons.
boobies.
That's what we're. Hey, don't steal that.
How the
Hey.
fuck did they never do that?
I know, dude.
Oh man,
The double
wow.
sexagon booby ring.
That's
Sexagons.
awesome.
We got to do that. Save
They
that for
fit
us.
right beside each other too. Oh man,
Yeah,
that's sick.
That was good stuff. I
Yeah.
was glad I went. And
Yeah, I ended up
hopefully we'll,
watching on stream. Like I was streaming and everyone was like, "Oh, the Cardona matches." I was like, "Fuck!" So I like stopped everything. I was like, "All right, let me go fucking watch this match."
It's worth it, bro. You had to.
Yeah. I fucking ain't gonna miss it. Yeah, hell no,
Dude, I
And-
loved him bloody, people raining trash down on him, and he does the Shawn Michaels spot with the belt.
Yeah, dude, the boy of the dream.
Oh my god, this guy is so fucking good.
He was like in the middle of the match, he was crying, and I don't know if you could tell,
Yeah.
but on the feed, he was like crying. He was like, "What the fuck did I do this, man?"
Yeah, you can see. Thankfully, that setup there surprisingly is really cool. It wasn't always like this. I don't know when they put these in, but they actually do have like big like projector screens up now on
cool.
each side. So like
Oh, so
when
you
there's
see.
a bunch of bullshit going on, yeah, it's the fight feed just on there. Like it's like,
Oh,
this
that's
is awesome.
cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. Very fun stuff. Check out that match for sure.